and I need everyone to join us because it's a party when everyone's here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't get this shut down before we even start now with your copyrighted music.
Name of that song, Tom.
Is it Led Zeppelin?
No.
Down I'm out. Oh, it's getting good. Oh, it's getting good.
Where's everybody?
Is it back in the saddle? There we go.
There you go.
Boom.
Will that get it shut down? Probably.
We'll find out. We're still people joining us. I think Facebook's eased the rule on the music thing because you can post music in the group now and it doesn't get kicked off.
It also has to know what it is. Like if
That's
you can't
true.
sense it, then it doesn't know. But YouTube's probably worse. What's happening, everybody? I'm Jason. That's Tom. And we're at Finger Flicked and Box. And we are back live. Not on our normal time. We're back live because, well, today's a very special day in the club. And I'm feeling well enough to sit in a chair and be on camera. So I decided to get back on here and celebrate the 4th anniversary of the club with my dear friend Tommaso Moore here. And we thought we'd talk about the time, talk about, back in the day, talk about the origins of the club, talk about what it means to each of us. And hopefully we'll get a bunch of comments from everybody out there in the audience that's watching right now. Steve Hatfield's here. Josh Agood's here. Israel's here. Dominic Ibarra's here. Greg Wadsworth's here. Hey, Greg, you don't need the apostrophe. I've been wanting to tell you that. Blake's here. Drew Blevins is here. Yeah, we got all our regulars here. That's right. Now, 4 years. It's been 4 years.
Notice.
4 years we've been doing this club thing. And for probably half of that, we've been doing the live stream, haven't we, Tom?
We started about 2 years ago. It was like September or October 2020. We started this.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a while.
Man, honestly, it feels like more than 4 years because it's been a lot of shit's happened. It's so much stuff. I can't believe it's only 4 years. Like, there's more stuff that's happened in the group than I can remember from high school, and they're both 4 years, right?
You know what? Simultaneously, it feels like a long time, and it feels like a short time.
Yeah, it seems recently, but also forever ago. I totally get that.
If you had told me that I've known you for 4 years, I would say no, it hasn't been 4 years. But
I'd say it's 5 years.
Right. Like, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. But then, like, what's happened, like, I don't know. A couple things have happened along the way. But here we are. For those who don't know, I've been absent because I had spinal surgery. I had a very acute onset of severe pain and partial paralysis in my leg. It was very bad. And I did a telemed visit thinking that I needed like a muscle relaxer. And the doctor told me that I needed spine surgery and made me go to an ER. I ran to an ER. He told me the catchphrases I needed to say to get past the x-ray towards the MRI. He said, you need an MRI. They won't find it with an x-ray. I said, all right. So I said the words he told me to say, and they got me an MRI. And when you know it, I needed that surgery immediately. They said if I didn't do it right away, I could lose movement in my leg. So, in fact, while I was in the ER, the doctors were like, are you currently incontinent? And I went, what? No. And they said, you're okay. You can hold your urine. And I'm like, are you saying that I might not be able to? Like, I'm this close. Like, that is that a possibility?
That's a weird way to tease that. Are you now?
Like, I'm like, well, check me if you want, but I'm cool.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you're kind of on the verge of that. So that was frightening. But anyway, I managed to find a surgeon at a spine center that specializes in this kind of thing. He was like, it's not a big deal. It's a simple surgery. We're going to go in and out. We'll be done in 2 hours. You won't believe it. And he was right. Like, first couple of days were hard. It's gotten easier through the last 5 days. I think today was day 5. And I'm definitely feeling a lot better today than yesterday and the day before and the day before. So the hardest part right now is sitting. Like, sitting on my butt hurts. So I don't know how long the show's going to be, but for now I'm feeling good and I'm happy to be with all of you. So that's where I've been. Tom's been holding the fort down, and I'm sorry I've been missing shows, Tom.
They've been different. I'll just say that. I'm not saying better or worse, but they're different. They're definitely
I have
different.
a hard time watching, honestly.
Oh yeah, when you do it by yourself too, I have a hard time watching also. Unless I'm watching it live and I can bug you in the comments. That's different.
Right. If I can't, I don't know. It's hard to watch and not be a part of it. So
yes, but this is, since FFIB is my favorite hour of the week. I wanted to do 2 awesome hours this week. So today, like Jason said, we just want to talk about the group. So bring all your memories and cool things you can think of, just things that remind you of the group, and start throwing them in the comments if you want us to touch on them. But basically, I can remember the exact day that Jason messaged me. I can tell you where I was standing. I could go point at the spot I was standing in, and I had a St. Nick's pair of 3 in my pocket. I'm 90% sure. When we wanted to start the group, and it was really exciting to have this prospect of starting something that was our own, because we had become frustrated. I don't know if it's necessarily the word, just felt unwelcome. Maybe that's the better word, with how we saw the future of what the Spyderco community could be online on Facebook. And
the way I think about it is, it's possible to just enjoy knives and not have the acrimony and the posturing and the machismo and the tough guy attitude that is in a lot of the other groups. And there's a lot of dick swinging, especially in like the gun community. I noticed it's particularly bad, but it sort of filters into the knife community too. And Tom and I were both like, from day one, we were like, can't we just talk about knives? Is it okay if we just talk about knives? And like, let's not make fun of each other. Let's not be jerks. Let's just enjoy each other's collections. And
you can only talk about knives if you have less than the person that's posting them, or more than the person posting them, or there's like a sense of balance and fairness, or whatever you want to call it.
I don't have to yield to somebody who's been doing this longer, and they don't have to put me down for having done it less. And I don't have to make fun of somebody for not knowing what a compression lock is. Right. It's possible that we can all enjoy these things together and just enjoy knives, and trying to take all of the garbage out of it meant starting our own group rather than trying to save a different group. So we did. And Tom, I just brought a blast from the past out. Remember these?
I mean, yeah, but like, even that, there's even a whole history of the group before that. Before there was swag. When we got official swag, I was like, didn't even think that was a thing Facebook groups could do.
That was the first sticker. This was the very first sticker. It was a hologram Che logo. By the way, guys, when we first designed the logo, it was like this. And Tom and I decided it was a little too like Central American freedom fighter. So we asked Dakota to turn it so that it was like that, to make it look like it was working. And the feedback we got instantly was, nobody holds a knife like that. Why is his thumb over top of the knife? So we took the feedback back to Dakota, and Dakota was like, I think it looks good. We were like, all right. I don't want to fight about it.
We definitely had that for a while before he commissioned this. That I don't think this is changing for a long time. This is pretty darn tootin' good.
You know what, dude? That was actually not the first sticker. That was the second sticker.
The first sticker. Yes, that was the first sticker. You know why?
I kind of miss these.
The best part about that sticker is that you have Twitter on there.
Yeah, we used to have a Twitter account. We still do. Like I didn't close it, but it's definitely abandoned. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I was going for the marathon sticker or whatever the stickers that people put on their sport utes. I'm sure every Subaru has one out in your neck of the woods.
Oh, for sure, except for mine. My Subaru has like a 0.26 on it.
Right.
0.261.
0.1.
Oh, so we started this little group. Mainly, I think there was just a couple, like, if I saw the post that remind me that we could pinpoint our validation of needing the group, it was a post from someone put up saying, I'm sick of seeing everyone's PM2s. And I was like, that's all I want to see, kind of. And if not, it's at least what I want to be able to post without anyone saying I have too many, or I don't need that, or why don't I try a Delica, or why don't you do this, or that's a waste of money, or you know how much money in deep carry clips you have wasted there, like just the same shit. And it was like freedom when we started the group. And it's interesting when you start a group and there's you and me, and it's like, okay, let's just message every serious collector we know. So, you know, Dan Tan and Henji and Stephen Thompson and I can't even remember who's been around that long anymore. Like,
yeah, our first targets were the guys that were serious collectors, the really heavy duty collectors. And they were the first really to join. I remember Dan brought over most of the Aussies. So there was a point where we were like 50% Aussies. That was,
I think we had
right.
around 80 members. And I was like, we were like at a tipping point when like half the group was Australian and half the group wanted to turn into a waffle group right off the bat.
Yes.
So one thing me and Jason have learned greatly over especially the first 2 years, is setting the culture of the group is so important. And if you don't like decide how you want the group to be, you're gonna just trash it. So we decided pretty early on, like, we can't do raffles in the group. That's, well, could get us shut down for one, but it's just like, that's not what we wanted to bring into the group. So some people didn't like that.
And, you know, it hasn't happened in a while, but back in 2019, there were groups disappearing left and right, and they had tens of thousands of people in them. They were just disappearing, and it was because of raffles. So, in fact, the word raffle was so bad, people stopped saying raffle. They would say waffle.
Don't say it. They might hear you.
Kind of like M4 got sullied a few years ago. Here's sticker number 3 for those of you collecting at home. So that was the third sticker to come out. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think there's only 150 of these around, so there's not a lot. Yeah, you know, it was the whole point was a knee-jerk reaction to the way that Tom and I were being treated in other groups. We wanted to start our own. So now we did, and off to the races. And then I remember somewhere around like 1,800, 1,900 people, somewhere in that range. There was a lot of power struggles where members of the group who were posting all the time were trying to tell us how to run it. And it was hard not to listen because these were the people that were the most important to the content. And there were times where I would feel myself yielding to those members because I was afraid of standing up. I wasn't confident enough to stand up and say no, or I don't like the way you're doing this, or, you know, don't be a jerk. And over time, what we learned is no matter how influential a member is, if they don't fit the ethos of the club, they just don't fit the ethos of the club, and it's not personal. It's okay. They don't have to be here, you know. So I remember us having some power struggles with some people back then. And then if like one of them would get mad and leave and take 12 people with them, and it felt like a big deal, but somehow we survived it.
And so we started it. It grew pretty quickly. It took us a while to get to 1,000, but we grew really quickly. And I learned that when I have a blank canvas, like a blank group to go post on, is really fun just to fill up with what I see as my art. Like, just fill it up. And ever since the beginning, that has been part of my philosophy is I don't want people to think there's like a post limit, like, oh, I can only post once every other day or I'm spamming the group. Like, I wanted to set a precedence really early on that if you have cool stuff to share, I want to see it because I'm bored or I'm distracting myself from work or I'm hiding from my problems, or in my case, I can get it in a minute, but I was hiding from issues, and content gave me something to like focus all of my attention, all of my problems, like they get put on the back burner while I'm deep into knives, looking at cool stuff, answering questions, learning stuff. Just the group quickly took off into a very just engaging place. And pretty early on, it was actually 33 days into the group had taken up so much of my time and attention and given me so much, like it empowered me as a person and built my confidence up and just gave me an outlet that I quit drinking because of the group. And it was like there to support me. Like, it was like, holy crap, I have a way to escape this now. and it was the group, and I just put all my energy into this, and
I had no idea that Tom even liked alcohol. By the way, he hit it well.
Yeah, Jason sold me a knife when I was really drunk one time, and he had no idea. It's an orange.
I was glad you bought it. Keenan Foy says we need a dramatized documentary of the group, from O Lounge drama to the Paramilitary 3 versus Para 3 debate, the Sal guest host, shipping fiascos. It would be great. Yeah. Who would play you, Tom?
Who would play me in the... Yeah. I mean, Tom Hanks, obviously.
Tom Hanks would play you? I'm surprised you knew a non-Office actor.
Rainn Wilson would play me?
Rainn Wilson. It's a good call.
Who would play you, Jason?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, obviously. I don't even know why I asked.
Obviously. Yeah. Thanks for the heart, Facebook user. How about the days when we were visited by Dan's alter ego due to frequent band hammers? Yeah, Dan's doing a better job of minding his C's and F's.
I think he feels like he has more to lose now. He has to like recreate a whole personality every time he gets banned.
Right.
So he behaves. He's been.
We haven't seen Ame sing in a while. Yeah, we have our director for the doc. Sam can direct it.
Yeah.
How often did you use the band hammer? Someday I'll show you guys the list of everybody that's been blocked from the group. It's hundreds. It's hundreds of people. It's not a couple, it's hundreds. So
yeah.
Generally the rule of thumb is we don't remove people from the group, we just block them. So once you're gone, you're gone. And if you want to come back, I don't know. I guess there's a path to redemption, but for the most part, if we've decided to let you go, then that's that. So it's a very long list. And sometimes I'll be in other groups and I'll watch somebody just behave terribly, and I'll come back to our group and I'll find them and just throw them out.
Oh, that's like my most.
I know that if they're capable of that, level of terrible somewhere else, they're capable of it in our group. Yes. So I don't have any problems with that. And if it makes me petty, then so be it.
I don't know. I was the same as you. Like, it took me a long time to have the confidence to stand up to people in the group. Like, I didn't like upsetting people. I didn't like disagreeing with people. I didn't like getting in the fights of like, this guy posted a Delica. This is a PM2 group. What are you going to do? Are you going to kick him out? Like, the dumbest, like, even little stuff like that. We didn't have a mission statement or whatever you want to say. Like, we didn't have a defined characteristics of what we wanted the group to be. So it took a little while to develop, and it's still changing today, which is what I like, is this has become like a living organism that evolves as the hobby evolves, as the knife industry evolves, there's so many more influences. And it took us a long time to say, okay, post what you want to post. Like, we used to be pretty, not strict, but we got really paranoid that it was going to like appear that we're not supporting Spyderco, or that other posts would get out of control. Oh my God, it'll become a Mannix group. Oh, heaven forbid. Like, but the group has just evolved to be what it is. And the members have like taken accountability for what they treasure in this group. And now I don't have to make those tough, like, oh, this person's acting up, I have to get involved. Usually when someone reports something, it's like someone like totally out of line. I can go there and there's like 3 comments from like regular members of the group saying, knock it off or you're going to get tossed. And it's made it really easy and empowering for us to know that we're not running around with a band hammer saying everyone has to behave and follow my direction, when everyone is like accountable for the quality of this group and everyone wants to like keep this culture what it is.
Walter Calicote said that Tom Selleck and Jonah Hill. So am I Tom Selleck? I'll take that, but he's kind of old. Isn't he in his 70s?
Yeah, Jonah Hill's got a pretty killer beard. Jonah Hill's a straight up beach bum now. Like, he smokes cigarettes and looks like a hippie and hangs out on the beach.
Not okay. He's not well.
I mean,
he just checked himself into mental hospital. Hey, I just found this one. Remember this?
Yeah. When you upset the wreck cart.
You guys, this was a big fiasco. After the Scorpion came out, I noticed that there were only like 640 of the satins and 690 of the coated, and they were constantly coming up for sale, and they were selling for like $170, $180. And it didn't make sense to me because there's not very many of them. They should have been way more expensive. And every time I'd see one under 200, I would buy it from the buy sell trade. And before I knew it, I had way too many. I had 6 of the Coyote Brown ones, and then also the PM2s came along. And anytime they were under 220, I would buy those. So I just kind of set a price range, right? Next thing you know, I had a pile of knives here, and I noticed that if I laid them all out in a pattern, I could get 12 of them in a circle. So on my desk blotter over here, I put the pair of 3 at 12 o'clock, and right at 12 o'clock, I posted it to Instagram. And then at 1 o'clock, I put one more knife next to it, and I posted it to Instagram. And then at 2 o'clock, I put one more knife next to it, and I posted it to Instagram. And I made sure to throw it up exactly on time. By 3 o'clock, people were noticing that I was doing this, and they were starting to freak out. And everybody started trying to guess what the next knife would be. And I went through each one. So I went satin 10V, and then a PM2, and then a DLC 10V, and then another PM2, and then satin 10. Right. So I basically just went in a pattern all the way around. But by the time 5 o'clock rolled around, Brian Kent was calling me, asking what was going on, because a rumor had spread that a pair of 3 10V was coming out at 5 o'clock. And I had to go back through all my posts to find it. But Brian Holliker had said it as a joke, and everybody had ran with it thinking it was true. And they were calling River's Edge Cutlery wanting to know when the knife was dropping, and how dare you, and why'd you do this without any notification? And yeah, it was really funny. And if you go back through my Instagram, you'll find them all in there in a row. But I kept it up for all 12 hours. And then the final picture I made into a sticker. So these were available for a little while. But that was a really funny day. I remember Brian was like, "Would you stop?" I'm like, "No, you're getting content. It's okay."
All press is good press, right?
And this is like, my phone's ringing. It's bothering me. Quit it. I'm like, I'll be done in a few hours. So that was a good trick.
So we started the group, and then a couple months later, I went on paternity leave in March, and that was when floodgates opened, because I had nothing holding me back from posting all. I lived in the group and watched my child, obviously, but I lived in the group when I was on paternity leave. And when it was coming to an end after 3 months, Jason was like, group's really busy now, and you're going back to work. And what have we created in the meantime? So we were like, okay, we should bring on another, or actually Nathan Wynn. I forgot about that. Nathan was our first moderator.
Yeah, we had Nathan for a long time.
Nathan was for a long time. He's from Australia. He's not been super involved for a while, but he's still in the group. But when I was going back to work, we brought on Cameron DB.
Cameron de Beaumont.
Cameron de Beaumont was our first outside hire.
He was the youngest old man we'd ever met. He had experience as a moderator in the EDC Go No Go group, started by Doc Darst. Yeah, Crazy Doc.
Yep, Crazy Doc.
So Cameron knew everything about everything, and he was a go-getter, and we brought him in as a moderator. And I could never get a read on Cam. Like I could talk to him, and we could have good conversations, and it was never anything he didn't know about knives. And I could ask him about other things, and he was always very knowledgeable about weapon systems and firearms and things like that. Cars, he knew about cars, and real unclear what his job was, but he was very busy all the time. Well, it turns out old Cam was a 21-year-old. Well, he told us that he had 3 kids and that he was a retired special forces operator, and he was working on weapon systems. And it turns out he's a 21-year-old kid. So he had been lying, pretending to be a soldier. He was a phony soldier. And he had actually snookered a bunch of special forces guys into starting a weapon systems company and moving to Idaho. And these guys were all in the process of selling their homes and quitting their jobs to move to Idaho to start this company with Cameron. And it turns out that he was not real. So this was all found out, and it all went live on a StreamYard platform in another group. And Tom and I were watching the StreamYard going, wow, this is cool. We should think about doing this in our group. So
yeah, like Cameron's meltdown that's happening right now is good too, but this is a good idea. We should get in on this.
Cameron was melting down trying to explain how this could possibly happen and why a little white lie could turn into a snowball like that. But yeah, Tom and I stole the idea and turned it into a live stream. That's how the show started.
There is some very notable exceptions to this rule, and I'm sure at least 2 of them are watching this. But Cameron started a trend that I started to notice for a while of being the highest contributing member is sometimes a red flag. And he was the highest contributing member. We had a couple occasions where we
I'm sure that never repeated itself. That never repeated itself, did it, Tom?
No, never.
So vowing never again to hire a psychopath as a moderator, we stepped right into it and brought in a guy we'll call GSP. And along came the most confident, arrogant person that any of us have ever known, who was instantly arrogant and humble at the same time. And his goal was global domination. He wanted to take over the group. And in very little time, he had lied, cheated, and stolen from most everybody in the community. And yeah, he went a long way to ruining everybody's reputation, didn't he?
Yeah, that was one of the more uncomfortable moments of the last 4 years. It was
old GSB. He was terrible. He ended up stealing a bunch of knives from a bunch of people. He ended up getting pre-orders from things like from various companies, and he would sell his pre-order spot to 6 or 8 people at a time, just to try to steal money from as many people as possible on his way out of the community. So that was terrible. He even started a parallel group with some other guys to try to teach Tom and I the what for. But yeah, it didn't work out for him so well.
No. Yeah, so we've gone through. It's not to portray this as we've had all these bad things. I just think the things that have happened that are drama filled are more interesting. There's been a lot.
We can either hide from it or we can laugh about it, and I'd rather laugh.
Yeah. About it. Yeah, I think that's enough. We had some interesting moderator choices. We've had a few, at least one other one that didn't quite work out.
Yeah, we had another guy that I don't even want to talk about him.
Yeah. He no longer moderator.
Let's just say he turned out to be somebody that he wasn't, and turned out to be a terrible person. Yeah. So
we have an amazing moderator staff now, and the top contributing members, especially Paula, are amazing. And I'm not saying anything of it. It's funny how we've come so close to disaster many times. We have come close to shooting ourselves a bunch of times.
Don't mind me. I'm just putting away knives.
This knife I got out on purpose. This is a celebratory knife. This knife is a 2017 run M390 PM2 from DLT. This is not my first PM2. This is actually the 3rd one I've ever owned. But this is the knife that changed it for me, because this was my first limited PM2. And when they were on sale, I think they were $150 or $140 if you bought 2 of them. And they were just like for sale, like on pre-order, because this was before pre-orders were a thing. And I racked my brain trying to think if I should buy 1 or 2. I bought 1. I was happy to buy 1. But then I got it, and I'm like, well, now I have 3 PM2s. I could have 4 PM2s if I wanted to. And then I could have 5 PM2s. This is the knife that got me addicted to the action of a PM2. This is my first really good one. And this is the one that got me like, oh, I'm gonna collect these. This is gonna become my whole identity now, is this knife. And it did. This is a forever knife. This is my forever, never gonna sell a PM2. This is the last PM2 that goes in the collection.
I came into the group with this one, and I'll probably leave with it. This is an excuse me. This is the M4 PM2 with marble carbon, with just carbon fiber scales. This is a factory second. I think I paid $170 for this, Tom. I paid $170 for a factory second.
Those were $230 though at the time.
I didn't know better at the time, but it seemed like a good deal. I've carried this one a ton. I've sharpened it several times. I've learned how to assemble and disassemble. This was the first knife that I got to flick and flop the way that I wanted it to. Yeah, if I know I'm going to be cutting a lot of crap, this is the one that goes in my pocket. And a while back, I tried sharpening it with a trick that I learned from YouTube. One side is a 4,000 grit finish, and the other side is a 200 grit. And I watched Cedric and Ada do a cut test with that edge on it, and it lasted, I think, triple the time that a polished edge did previously for the same steel. So I gave it a try, and I haven't sharpened it in a year and a half. It's still sharp as shit. So maybe that works. Did you get any new knives this week?
Actually, I did. I was going to say no by default, but I got this beast thing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you got that.
This is like one of those drop shutty, like I can't just like freely go up there and whop it because I will cut my finger off. It's a guillotine. So this is a custom knife factory Evo 3.0 designed by John Sorensen of Rotten Knives or Design or something. I like this knife a lot more than I thought I was going to. I have like a aversion, or at least I did when I ordered this, to things that look like scary and badass. And this to me is like the definition of a scary looking badass, meant to look that way knife. But I've kind of grown to like the looks a little bit. And it's really good ergonomics, which I didn't even cross my mind that it would have good ergonomics.
Yeah, it's an aggressive shape.
Yeah.
No question.
But it's a fun knife. I am actively trying to trade it for a Roosevelt, but if I don't, I'm not going to be mad. I'll keep it for a while for sure. It's a fun knife. I mean, it may be not forever knife, but it might be sticking around for a while.
I think Tom would trade it for the right Rosie.
And the right one is the one that is Magna Cut blade. That's about my only requirement.
Do you care if it's acid washed or polished or black?
Very few are acid washed that I've seen. I don't care if it's golf putter. I don't care if it's smooth. I don't care what it is. I just want a simple one.
Acid washing Magna Cut's kind of a waste of time, right?
Yeah.
It's like painting a DeLorean. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Did you get any new knives?
I did. First thing I got was I got a Knoll Knives Raiden.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's dope.
I got lucky on this one. So it turns out another gentleman had ordered 2 of these, and he decided to build his own from the parts and then sell what was left. So this is not a factory issue. I believe the DLC with the satin blade was supposed to come with gold hardware.
Okay.
So this one's all black, which I'm great with. And just as a comparison to another knife that everybody's kind of familiar with, like comparing it to the Jaeger M, I find that it's a pretty similar in size, and I'm not able to show off here. It's pretty similar in size, a little smaller back here, but overall the blade length is about the same. It's a really good looking knife, open and closed. I like the contours across the handle. It's very comfortable to hold. The top has a harpoon, which is nice. Everybody likes poon. And when you hold it and you put your thumb up here, it's really quite comfortable. I have a lot of space on the back here for my hand. The clip's in a good spot. So right-handed, it's not too big in the clip. I know that's a big pet peeve for some people. So very comfortable to hold, very nice to cut with. The blade itself has sort of a mirrored, smoky mirror to it.
Yeah.
So it's a stone wash, but it's also polished. So it reminds me a little bit of like a drunken blade.
Okay, yeah.
See the reflection off the blade?
Yeah, a mirror stone wash.
Yeah, it's a mirror stone wash, I guess is what they call it. What I'm particularly happy with is the thumb studs. So they are conical, like a Chris Reeve, but they also don't hurt your thumbs, unlike a Chris Reeve. So imagine a knife that you can actually thumb stud open and not whine about it.
You mean in general or me specifically?
I mean anybody. Like nobody should have to suffer a CRK thumb stud.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm told that I'm supposed to like it and shut up. And I'm told to not complain about it. you know, because that makes me a complainer. But I do believe that it's okay to like innovate over time. And what I do like about this thumb stud is that it's fat where you want it to be, and then it's also conical on the top. I think that it has a little bit of a gap on it. I'm wondering if some of those rubber bands that you'll see on the
DRMs.
Three Rivers would fit on it. I don't think I'll be doing that, but it definitely works left-handed, right-handed the way it's supposed to.
Nice.
And Sean Loom is in the group. He's the designer of these knives. This is his first design. And for a guy to come out of the gate with this as his first design, I'm pretty shocked. It's amazing. The geared backspacer is cool. It's got a lanyard hole in it here for guys that like handles on their handles. But it's not a big obnoxious hole through the back of the knife. It's pretty terrific. If I had to find a room for criticism on this knife, I would say it's a bit heavy. It's at 3.8 ounces. So for the size of it, you know, the Nick Shabazz rule is you want an ounce for every inch of the blade. And I don't know quite how long the blade is. Let me check here.
I mean, this is 3.7.
It's a 3 1/4 inch blade. So 3.8 is not unacceptable, but it does feel a little hefty in the hand. And I imagine the backspacer is probably a lot of that.
When I feels like that, I guess I would say it feels dense. Like it feels heavy for its size. It feels like it's dense.
So there are people who like that, and they like a denser, they like a heftier knife. They want to know that the knife's in their hand when they're holding it. So for people like that, I think you're going to like it and not worry about what I just said. For people who like it, a wafer thin knife that's super, super lightweight, this might be a bit heavy for you. But honestly, that's me grasping at straws, trying to find something to be critical about. The lock bar, Tom, even has a waffle pattern in it on the area where your thumb hits it.
Oh, nice.
So you get a little extra grippy action when you're trying to open and close the knife. So I guess one last criticism I would say is when you're gripping the knife here, you do have the option of moving up, right? Like a forward choil, but it's not much. It doesn't, I don't know. There's not much reason to use it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like it's meant to be a forward choil necessarily.
Yeah, not really, right? Get that off my shiny forehead. But really, I don't have a lot to complain about on this knife. It looks like it's easy to sharpen. It's easy to take apart. There aren't a lot of screws in it. The screws are tastefully placed. They're not they're T8s. They're not T6s. Even the pivot has a waffle pattern in it, so it has a good look to it. Sean Loom is getting ready to drop another knife soon. It's called the Voodoo. And
October
27th. Based on this, I will wait 8 months on a pre-order. I was not going to before because I don't want to pre-order knives anymore. But based on the quality of this knife, I will definitely be pre-ordering one of the new Voodoos. So
good to hear.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with it. So congratulations, Sean. Nice job. You've made a beautiful knife. Somebody tag Sean. Carlos is ready for a voodoo. Carlos, I saw your name very quickly and I thought it said Carl Alley.
So today, I'm very proud of what we got to do today in celebration of the 4-year anniversary. Today, we got to post a pretty freaking incredible giveaway, I must say myself.
You put together a monster of a giveaway while I was drugged up and unable to Facebook.
And I would say, it took me like 10 minutes of messaging. Like all the dealers that participated in our giveaway, I didn't have to like beg or plead or like offer like to give them promotional information. I said, hey, you guys have this cool knife. Would you be interested in doing a giveaway? Immediate responses from every single dealer. Like people that normally wouldn't respond to me right away, boom, response right away. So the dealers, and I said this in my post the other day, but like me and Jason, I believe Jason's favorite thing, it's my favorite thing for sure, is how we've taken dealers and customers and put them together. And then you guys know what's coming. The dealers have good customers. There's awesome customer feedback. Like the relationship between the dealers and the group members has become, unreal. Like there's people like River's Edge Cutlery where there's a cult following now about rec that they have their own group that's kind of spun off and turn into a huge thing. And seeing that happen, and you guys are largely responsible for the success of a lot of dealers. You really are. And they know it, they appreciate it, and so they're happy to support you guys. I don't know. It's just a really cool relationship that's developed within the group.
Tom and I knew that nothing bad could come from bringing dealers closer to knife owners. You guys buy knives from dealers. Dealers want to sell you knives. If they know what you like and what you don't like, they'll order more of what you want and less of what you don't want. Like, what bad could come from that? And we knew that when we started the group. So from the very beginning, we've wanted this relationship with the dealers. So if you're new to the group and you've noticed that dealers post more than you see in other groups, that's deliberate. We really want them to post. And when new dealers join the group, Tom and I go out of our way to try to bring them in and bring them into the tent, because there's nothing wrong with having another dealer who's friends with the community, right? And we see it happen all the time, that stuff gets leaked here before it gets leaked anywhere else. You find out about stuff before other groups find out about it. You have access to things before other groups do. And that's by design, right? They know that you guys buy their stuff and they're grateful. So they come back here and they post stuff. And, you know, I don't know. I don't remember a time before Knife Joy was in the group and they were, you know, big contributors to the group. Jason
People act like I've been around social media for a long time doing knife stuff. Like Zach Cooper, he's OG of this game. Zach Cooper has been doing Facebook shit forever.
Zach and Gary are big parts of the group forever. Jason Thune has been a big part of the group forever. Brian used to be the big contributor from Rec, and now that's expanded out, and now there's multiple people from Rec that are involved. You know, Todd's watching right now. Hey, Todd. I'm leaving people out, and I apologize. Eric Ziliak from Indiana Knives. That's a one guy owning a knife store, and he doesn't have any employees. He runs the whole thing himself. And, you know, being a part of our community is a huge part of his business, and he's very grateful to be a part of it. And I'm grateful he's here. So when you guys need knives, you know, we have a list pinned to the top of the group of stores that are friends with us. And I hope you guys leverage that and use it. Some of our newer members, American Edge Knives from Minnesota, they've recently joined. So, you know, when you guys see their posts, you know, give them a thumbs up, tell them thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate them. Jeff Loffer from Cutlery Shop. His name just popped up in the group. You know, Jeff has been a huge contributor to our group for a long, long time, to the point where he's making his own swag to be packed in orders when you guys add in the comments that you're a member. So,
I mean, we'll just be upfront. Jeff is kind of like the secret corporate sponsor of the swag of the group. He thinks of all these cool things that he wants, like the flight tags, and that's from Jeff. That's all his doing and his ideas. And he asked us if we can do it. Yes, you can do it. Absolutely.
The coin project wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been able to handle the commerce side of it. You know, shipping 2,500 coins is absolutely impossible for Tom and I to do. And, you know, he ran to the challenge and said, yes, I'll do it. And it was for no financial gain to him. There was a lot of time and effort and blood and sweat for his team to make that happen, but he did it. And I'm very grateful for that.
I will say there's one prize in the giveaway that it's not that it's exceptionally better than the other prizes. Knife wise, I think the 4V Manix we're getting from St. Nick's is Max XL is the coolest freaking knife ever.
It's so badass.
My favorite giveaway, I actually got contacted after I posted it. I got contacted by Spyderco saying, we want to give you guys a backpack. Obviously, the prize is cool. Obviously, it's cool that we have a relationship with someone that want to donate. The fact that Spyderco knows what we are doing in this group. They are paying attention. We've made that big of an impact. They are aware of the group. They were excited and happy to donate to this cool event. And I don't know, that validates so much of like our hard work of knowing like the company that we all love and appreciate really does see this. They understand our community now. Eric is not on Facebook every day, but there's people in the group that work at Spyderco. They know what we're doing and they think it's really cool. So to get support from the mothership is just mind blowing to me.
I love it. Since I started naming names, I need to finish naming names, Tom.
Yeah.
We would be remiss if we did not mention Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So to give you guys an idea, Tyler Pipes, the owner of the largest knife store in the world, also the largest firearms dealer in the world, perhaps. I know the largest Smith & Wesson in the world. I know that for sure. They send us free stuff all the time. So Tyler will send me a box with 50 to 100 t-shirts and like 5,000 stickers. And he'll go, just spread it around. Also work mats. If you've ever received one from me in the mail, it's because I've got a stack of them in my guest room and I got to get rid of them. I got to mail them out. So he sends me boxes of swag to give to you guys. And I'm trying to pass it through as much as I can.
I was hesitant to answer his last message about where do I send the next shipment of swag. And I'm like, I don't know if I have.
Did you tell him where?
I was like, I didn't give him the address because I don't want a whole garage full of stuff. We still have a garage full of stuff to get rid of.
I think it's your turn.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I'm finally through all the t-shirts. But, you know, Tyler has been aggressive about leveraging the relationship with you guys. He wants to know when something's wrong. You know, I've seen him post at least twice about what am I doing wrong with my business? And you guys are not ashamed to tell him. So he takes all that feedback to heart and he brings it back to his company and he wants to do better. St. Nick's Knives, they've been a huge supporter for the group for years. Dylan Monroe is the face that I know the best from St. Nick's, but I know there's other guys involved from that store as well. You guys know their fantastic run of limited editions, but there's so much more than that. It's a huge knife store with a wealth of information, wonderful online experience. It's very easy to shop there. So check out St. Nick's. We did have a recent addition to the giveaway, Cerberus Knives. So Chris Ortiz is a member. He's been in the group a long time. He's a knife maker. He's a knife designer. He's also a scale maker, and he's donated a set of scales to the giveaway. So that will be another item that we draw. So that was awesome of him to do that. I think he had one set left of his trial run of the Oldham scales, Tom. So he's going to be donating those.
Those are cool looking. I want to get a set of those and try them out. They look really neat.
They're awesome. So, yeah, thank you to everyone who contributed. Justin, I've left your note up here. Hope Tucker is another just fantastic. It's such a small store, right? They don't have a big budget to give away things, but Hope donates all the time to things that we're doing. And thank you very much, Hope.
I think one of the coolest thing I've seen, and I think it gets associated with GSP a little bit too much, but to see the support, like, so Freight Unlock did it was a extremely expensive at the time Delica with carbon fiber and HAP 40. It was a fancy Delica, and they weren't moving. But to see the group come together and like say, hey, we should sell these out. That'd be really cool if we could just sell out all these Delicas. And the group did. The group supporter, because of that, they have gone on to be able to do other exclusives, because that could have been the end of it for them. They could have just been like, this doesn't work.
This project didn't work.
Boom. Down.
Thank you, Jeff. Can you add that to the post, Tom?
Oh, absolutely will. I left it kind of vague. I was thinking that we might end up some other stuff. So I just left it swag right now. And so that's definitely qualifying as some group swag. We'll definitely do 10 giveaways for that. It's going to be a long show on Saturday, drawing all this stuff. Whew.
Yeah. We're getting better at it.
Yeah, we're getting better at it.
By the way, the reason we had you draw a number between 0 and 30,000 is because there's 16,000 of you. And the odds are getting increasingly likely that the same person will pick, or two people will pick the same number, and it helps with ties.
The first eight entries, within the first 8 entries, someone chose the same number as someone else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Of course. Shall we talk about the club coins? We didn't cover that yet.
Yeah.
So back in 2019, I wanted to do a coin, and it took a long time for me to figure out how to do it and who to do it with. And I remember going to Tom with it, and he was kind of like, "That's cool, whatever. You know, I don't get it. I don't really understand it, but whatever." So it wasn't really until he held it that he got it. I think, you know, when I was showing him drawings of the coin, you were just like, "Yeah, all right. Does it have to have the logo on it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it kind of does."
I didn't even know like coins. Well, I knew they were a thing, but I didn't get that genre yet.
Yeah. So the first coin, there's 325 of these in circulation. The front has American flag with the worker logo. And then around the outside, it says Millie Paramilitary 2 Para 3 Club, established 2018. The back of the coin, I was really proud of. I took the membership of the club, which is downloadable from the admin page, and I was able to look at where people live and how many members are in each country. And ranking from 12 o'clock around the clock is the order of the country's membership in the group. So the number 2 country in total members is Canada. And then number 3 is actually Philippines. Number 4 is Australia. Number 5 is UK. So as you go around the coin, you're going to see flags from all around the world, and that's what that represented. The fact that the group has remained international through the years has been surprising to me. I thought it would kind of go really hard US, but it hasn't. We're still about 30% international. So that first coin came out.
How many? Was it like 300?
Well, we did pre-orders on these, and the pre-orders were 270, and I bought another 50 on top of it, thinking that I would sit on these forever. But what I found out the hard way was that I could have ordered another 1,000, and they would have all still gone. Just over time, people wanted them.
You could have ordered 1,000 and you got eventually. You could order 1,000 now, and you could sell 1,000 now easy because people be like, "Oh man, they can flip these," and that's something I never thought I would see the day when people are flipping merch from a Facebook group. That
I know
was crazy.
I know, and I've always been of the attitude that something is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it, and it's nobody else's business except the seller and the buyer about that transaction. But even now, when these things sell for like $150, it bothers me a little bit that I don't love the fact that somebody's having to pay $150 to get a coin. But I am pretty steadfast about not repeating something.
We can't. You can't repeat. It says 2020. I don't
want to look back. I don't want
to relive that year. No relive in 2020.
I want to live in the past. Bet. So along came 2021. 2021 came along with a new logo. The new logo was by design, partially because we wanted to move away from the fist with the thumb, but we also wanted to move away from the actual knife being part of the logo, so much of the logo. We wanted it to be a little bit different. The problem is that the group's called the Millie Paramilitary 2 Para 3 Club, and there's too many words. So fitting them all into a logo is hard. But we kind of figured it out. It
looks very good. Looks very good.
This coin, I went with a little more of a coin style. So it has a mint mark and it has a year on it. The back of the coin, I revisited the flag concept, but instead of flags, I used emojis. Now, you guys know by now that Tom and I invent emojis for knives when they come out because it's easier than typing out all the words involved in an exclusive. So if you just go with an emoji, it's so much easier to type. It's easier to search. It's easier to use on Instagram. And by the time the coin came out, we had quite a few emojis to choose from. So starting at 12 o'clock, we added emojis around the ring of the coin. And what's at 12, Tom?
I don't know. I forgot. That one doesn't make sense to me because I don't know that knife.
I think it's a tiger.
Oh, no. The tiger's on the 2022 coin too, though, right?
It is on the 2022 coin, but we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
So around the rim of the coin, you might notice there's a Latin phrase. As close as you can, it says finger flicked in box in Latin, but they didn't use the word flicked back then. So it's just as close as you can get. I only did that because you can. It allows you to, on the order form, you can add words around the outside. Comments are getting spicy. So that brings us to the 2022 coin. So how do we do better than the 2021 coin? Oh, by the way, there were
900.
900 of the 2021 coin. So that brings us to the 2022 coin, the Millie PM2 Para 3 Club coin. The return of the same logo as the 2021, but now we have gold on black. This thing just looks evil in person. It looks so good. It's a black nickel finish, and the texture of the coin changes the sheen and the look of the black. So there are places where it's shiny and there are places where it isn't. The back of the coin features a tiger from hell, Japanese style, up against the mountains. So it's a very beautiful Japanese style tiger. The tiger is gold. The tiger is orange and red and black, and looks really cool. The rim of the coin has some numbers and letters on it.
I need to brush up on my Latin. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it says C 2.7, W 0.7, V 7.2, CR 20, MO 1, MN 0.5, SI 0.5. That sounds like minerals.
I don't know. It sounds like the Da Vinci Code.
I don't feel like I have a comment on that. So the second year for the tiger, got a tiger on there. We got some minerals around the outside, elements, I suppose you used to say. And there are 2,500 of these that have been printed. So there are still some left, not many, but there are some left at cutleryshop.com. We decided to stop selling them ourselves because we can't literally ship that many. It's just not possible. So Cutlery Shop was gracious enough to offer these. So if you go to their website right now, you can get them. If you don't have one yet, I would recommend that you get one because
they're $20 shipped with other cool stuff that comes with them too, which is
guys
crazy.
are trading these for exclusives. So that should tell you that the coins don't go down in value over time, right? They go up in value. So they're getting harder to get. Eventually we will run out and you will be sad that you didn't get one. So I hope you get one before they're too late. There was conversations about, well, how do we jump from 900 to 2,500? And we talked a lot about how many to order. And for a long time, it was 1,500. And then it was 2,000. And then it was, well, why don't we just go big and have enough that we don't have price gouging? We'll just order a ton. So we did. And, now there's still some left, but it's a long way to the 2022 coin. So I think in the meantime, those who are joining the group and want one can still get one. So for $20, you can get yourself a coin. You can get the swag that comes with the coin, which is just as good. This is the first time we've had coin swag, Tom.
That's very true. Yeah, it's like a whole. This is like something you would pay money for. This isn't just like something thrown in like a little piece of junk. This is something you would pay money to buy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got coin swag to go with the coin. There's also stickers that go with it. So head over to Cutlery Shop if you want one. Let's see. Jake Mack got his number. Nice job, Jake. If you want to enter to win a coin, enter to win in the contest, and there's 10 of them that will be available. By the way, it was Dan Hawkins, member of the group, that made those wooden tokens. So shout out to Dan for that.
I broke Dan's brain. I'm responsible for Dan's problems. I went to dinner with Dan and Jeff Lawfer last summer, and then a week later, I'm shipping Dan $3,000 worth of my knives.
I mean, Dan was just a simple, Griptilian guy, and then he met you.
Yep, he liked bug outs, and then he met me, and now he has more knives than I know he has more knives than I do now. He's got a hell of a collection now.
I want a club scale. That's a good idea.
That's what another Facebook group has done.
I think we should have a club scale.
We should do that, actually. That's a very good idea.
Sweet. Tom Moore created a knife addict after that dinner.
One thing that I didn't expect myself to, I never thought I would be so comfortable putting myself out there on the internet. Like, just in general. Like,
when we started this, you were very apprehensive.
I mean, you were not just the show, but like in general.
You were like, what will we talk about for 30 minutes?
Yeah. I just mean, like, in general, I was a much more shy person, and this group has empowered me in some ways I didn't think was possible. And it's been awesome to watch. The thing that really, like, I get really genuinely touched when people put up posts like, hey, this and this happened, and, this shitty thing's happening in my life, and the group supported me through it, or I see that on a regular basis. Those posts really do touch me. Like, it's not just like I like him and scroll by. Like I really like I think about those posts all day, every day. That's something that we created. This has become an internet home base. This is where people go to. Like this is the default. Like you pick up your phone. My default isn't to go to freaking Words with Friends or something like that. My default, I'm going to go to the group. That's just what my phone's for, is to go to the group and to see the sense of community that other people have taken advantage of that beyond just me and Jason. Like, but everyone is just like, hey, this is an outlet where I can put my feelings out there. I can talk about bad things. I can make connections with like-minded people, and that it touches me on a daily basis. I never get sick of hearing about cool things like that. I never get sick of hearing about how because of this person or because of the group or because of whatever. I think it really does blow my mind that we've been able to create this environment of awesome people. And
totally.
I don't know. It's supported me through things. I've heard people that have made it through some pretty miraculous bad situations, and it's because of the group and the members that support. That is unique, I would say, at least in the Spyderco community. It's not, I mean, I know there's a lot of good groups, but we have opened ourselves up on an emotional level, which sounds weird and smooshy or whatever, but it's true. And it's really cool.
If we can get like maybe a tad more of the Breakfast EDC Club warm and fuzzy without losing the knife content, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, for that group, it's become nonstop coin and sticker, which is fine. I'm not criticizing at all, but I like how much knife content we have. Yes. I'm very happy about that. When people, occasionally we do get complaints where people will say, why is there so much non-knife related content? And I'll be like, just wait 30 seconds. There'll be another post. Like there's hundreds of posts every day. It'll be okay. There'll be more.
I got someone pretty aggressively like coming at me when I was posting the fact that there was an Arius in stock the other day at Knife Center. Like someone was like complaining that I would dare put up I don't know, of the at least 3 people in that post that bought one that finally had a chance to buy one, I think they appreciated it. So yeah, it's everything's welcome content. Like everyone's going to kind of default back to the same thing in the end, but it's the off-topic stuff that gets people's attention. It's the off-topic stuff that I learned from, and I think it's cool.
The post complaining about non-knife post is also a non-knife post. Very poignant. Absolutely. Touche, Jake.
My favorite non-written rule is if we delete your post, do not put up a post saying, hey, you deleted my post. What the fuck? All I said was this. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did. And we saw that. Again. That's why we deleted it. Yeah, guys, if you were interested in the coins, somebody asked earlier, all you need to do is go to cutleryshop.com. Jeff is in his office right now in front of his computer. He just changed the banner so it's a fucking coin. Just go to the website and just click on it. It's right there. It's hard to miss. And you will be in coin splendor.
And you will be surprised with your number because you're not picking it. But you'll be surprised. So cross your fingers.
It's right on the splash page. Yeah, and also if you search for Club Coin, you'll find it. Let me share. I'm running out of gas, Tom.
Oh no. Okay.
There we go. Looks like max 10. You guys can order 10 at a time.
We won't stop. I mean, if you do more, I'm not going to be any more left, but I bet you could get away with more if you wanted to hand them out.
Yeah, if you want to order more than 10, just
order twice.
Order twice. There you go. Drew Blevins says, how about that little native tomorrow? How about that, Drew? Compression lock. It's pink. 45 yen.
45 yen.
Yep.
Pink. Knife Joy. It's a real I don't have the price in front of me, but it's a reasonable price because Little Natives aren't astronomically expensive. It's a cool knife. It's a Little Native. It makes sense. It's pink. It's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's cool color and not. It's just cool. I like pink. I don't know. It stands out. It's bold. Make a statement.
They use a good pink over there at Spyderco.
They do.
Hey Chase, I'm glad you brought that up. A big pet peeve of mine is people who complain about things not being fair. Life isn't fair. Life's hard. Things happen, like random spinal surgeries that you didn't know you'd need. Things happen. And when people whine about a wife winning a knife lottery, it almost makes me swallow my tongue and go into a convulsion that somebody would have the nerve to go on the internet as a grown-up and complain about somebody winning a lottery. It's a lottery. They didn't stand in line in front of you. They didn't cheat. They didn't game the system. They didn't break in, like a hacker, breaking in. They just won a lottery, and you didn't. And maybe you'll win the next one. Tom and I know several people that have won multiple lotteries with Oz. I've owned 2 in the time that he's made 1,000, and I haven't tried particularly hard to buy them. I just got lucky, right? So when people complain about somebody else winning a lottery, it just blows my mind. I can't believe that we live in a world where that person feels okay to go and complain about that as if it was a real problem. There's so many real problems in the world, and that is not one of them. So you guys might notice that there's a new Oz Machine Company group out there, started by this guy and Dan Hawkins, because we got sick of the whining. So if you want to celebrate the Oz knives and not have the whining part, come on over. We're going to delete all the whines. So far, no whining. It's uncanny. There's 200 people in there and no one's whined yet. So that's that.
We do have a backpack in the giveaway, and it's from Spyderco. It's a VanQuest ADX 18 Spyderco branded. It's got a little red bug on it, and it's got a big Spyderco patch on it. It's a awesome, cool backpack from Spyderco. It's in the giveaway. It got added after I posted it.
I'll be honest with you guys. I like this. I like the other bag better for everyday, like work carry, office carry.
Oh, the messenger bag.
More stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The messenger bag holds more. The backpack is slim and fast and elegant. And if you are carrying a laptop and maybe some minimal amount of items, it's amazing. So it definitely looks smooth and sleek. If I was on a train, I would probably feel more confident about having stuff in there and nobody messing with it, but it's all VanQuest. It's super high quality. It's a fantastic bag. Do you have it nearby, Tom?
I don't. It's on the couch out in the living room. I like to sit next to the couch and play with the zippers and stuff. So it's out.
Aren't those zipper pulls great?
Yeah, they really are.
They're killer.
Yeah.
I love that the inside is so Velcro friendly too, because all of their accessories. You never find anything when I want it. Here we go. This is one of their bags, Tom.
Yeah.
For storing things. Check it out. It's got big Velcro pads on the back. So if you want to, you can just stick it right on the inside, anywhere on that bag. And then the pull tabs, right?
Yeah.
Common through the line. This bag also accordions, so you can fill it. But all of their accessories are Velcro-y, so you can buy these little bags. I know River's Edge Cutlery, by the way, has all of these in stock, like every size. It's awesome. So go to Rec and buy these. But you can customize your bag to have all the storage exactly where you want it, when you want it. So really purpose-driven gear. It's amazing. That's true, Chris Murray. The pull tabs say Spyderco on the Spyderco bags.
Chris Murray, I believe it was him. He just got his backpack. Did you see that post, Jason? With they said thank you for being in the Millie Club on the note from the Spyderco.
Oh, that was okay. Cool. I saw the picture, but I didn't know whose it was.
Creepy? No, awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. By the way, guys, twice I've sent knives back to Spyderco for repair that were not warranty repair. They were jacked up knives, right? User error, jacked up. And I sent them back to Spyderco, and I put a handwritten note in there, and I said, hey, I'm begging you to please fix my knife. I broke it. I don't expect you to do it for free. I'm sorry. But I need your help. Can you please fix this knife? And one of them was a jacked up pivot, and the other one was a screw that had been hollowed out because somebody took a T9 to a T10 and ruined it. So each time, oh man, free girls chat.
Oh my goodness.
Each time I included a note that was, and I signed it from the MPM2P3 club, and I dropped a sticker in it. And each time they fixed the knife. So I'm not saying that, I pulled a lever and got some special favors, but I think maybe it didn't hurt. I'm going to put that user in timeout, Tom.
That'd be great. I was wondering if you could do that.
I can actually block the user too.
Oh, good. Nice. I mean, I was just wanting to get to know that user personally, but they were really engaged in the comment. Oh, they're gone now. Okay.
Somebody named 69girls.xyz was commenting left and right. How dare you, sir? Do you think that works?
What?
Comments like that.
I don't know. Is
there a 14-year-old among us that would click on that and go, oh, maybe this will be the link that gets me?
I don't know, but scammers are, there's always like this, people like, oh, watch out for scammers. Legit now, to a point where Spyderco, who doesn't post a ton on Instagram, even put a post up specifically about this. There is insane amounts of scammers on Instagram right now. If you are on Instagram and someone offers you a knife in the comments of a post, if you say, I like that knife, and someone says, I have one, it is a scam.
Yes.
Period. Report that profile. Go look at it. It'll be a fake profile. It'll look real. It'll have a bunch of pictures that are all posted the same day. They'll all have 0 likes on all the pictures, and all their followers are fake. So that is a whole thing. So yeah, scammers are a whole thing. They're pretty convincing though. I will admit, like, before I've reported some of these scammer profiles, I've like legit really dug into them to make sure this isn't a real person who's just being really sketchy. And
you know what I appreciate about them, Tom?
What's that?
CQI. What I appreciate about them, CQI.
Yes.
Continuous quality improvement. They always just innovate. They don't stagnate.
Nope.
Yep.
One thing. So what are some trends that you think have changed over our time here? One thing I'm really big on that I think you and me have made the biggest impact on, it may seem strange, is using screwdrivers. Breaking Loctite. That, I think the attitude around knife maintenance and taking your knife apart and making your knife your own, because of the group, has really changed a lot of people who were so just like, I'm going to keep this new in box. I'm literally new in box. The clip's not going to get flipped. I'm not going to take it out, which is fine. If you want to click, like, that's fine. But it's nice, I think, that the group has opened up not only people's like appreciation that you can customize stuff, but it's giving people the confidence that, like, there's instructions. There's people to ask questions to. Like, because the first time you take apart a PM2, if you are going into this totally blind, good luck. Good luck. And now that people are not afraid to crack the factory Loctite, it doesn't ruin a knife. And I think that's a neat thing that's changed about the culture.
Yeah, 4 years ago, it was definitely important that if you were selling a knife, you had to prove that it had never been opened. And if you were buying a knife, you better damn well make sure that no one had ever touched a screw on it.
Yeah.
And then you needed to make sure the box code matched the knife, and people were very paranoid about every little detail. And nowadays, like, sale posts used to be long soliloquies about, the mythical experience of buying this knife. And now, sadly, tragically, I have to sell it. And, all that crap's gone. Now it's just a picture and a price, and it's up to the seller. It's up to the buyer to uncover as much information as they want. And I like that. Like, I don't care anymore whether or not somebody's opened a knife before I bought it. I don't care. Like, did you put it back together right? Will you be accountable if you didn't? That's about all I care about, So for the most part, I think you're right. That's a big thing that's changed since we started.
I a lot of times when I sell knives, if a knife I'm selling has crappy action, like it or not, I'm not selling you that knife. I'm gonna fix it before I sell it because I don't want that in my conscience, knowing like, what if this person doesn't know that a PM2 can be better than that?
Lots of guitar comments tonight. You guys want to know about my guitars. Now tonight's not the night to do that because I can't twist and turn a lot to pull the guitars off the wall. But yeah, a long time ago, I used to work at a guitar store. For 14 years, I sold guitars. After that, I started an amplifier company with some friends, and we made amplifiers for about 3 years. So I've been in that industry for a long, long time. And while I was in it, I bought a lot of those. So most of them I bought during my time in the game, and then some I've bought since. And I don't play it hardly at all anymore compared to what I used to do. But at this point, it's mostly about the fact that they make me very happy, right? When I look at them, they make me happy. If I sneeze really loud, they all actually vibrate. They'll go, which is kind of funny. I do pull them down from time to time if I'm in a bad mood, and I'll plug them in and play them. But generally, they're best loud. And now that I have a 7-year-old, I can't really play loud when she's around. So fun time is limited to when my family's either gone or she's at school, and I can crank it. But I do love it. Great way to spend time. Takamine or Dean, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? Must be an amplifier thing.
No, it's like, I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We have
that's like using the best saltine, Tom.
We have a song now from Brian of Transparent Knives.
Brian, that's right. Brian did a Millie Club song.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to learn it. What was it sung to?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to pull that up.
I'll pull it up.
Stop, Jason. We need to know. You need to know if I have a red guitar. I do not own a red guitar. I think red guitars are for beginners.
Ooh, you're like TikTokiver, so there's a couple TikToks I wanted to send you, but I'm like, I don't feel like texting this to him, so we'll disrupt him at 2 a.m. But there is some really. I started like watching Fender account on TikTok, and their videos are just a video of a spray booth and spraying the raddest looking colors on stuff.
Yeah, there's a guy named Jay Nelson. That's a spray. Jay Nelson. Crap, JN Color, I think. He's on Instagram, and he's one of the master spray booth guys. And he's just spraying lacquer, and he'll tape his phone to his head so you can watch as he's spraying it. It's mesmerizing. I love it. Your American Strat is red. What were they out of black? So you bought red. Sorry, Jake. Red's fine. Like, but if I think about like famous guitar players who played a red Strat, the list is small. David Gilmour did for a few years. Mark Knopfler did for a short amount of time. And then kind of drawing a blank there. Like there's just not a lot of reds. Red is not the Strat color. Like if you want a Strat, I think you either need to go with like, who's your hero? Like who's your boy? Pick that color or go totally different. Granted, I do have a black Strat. So, it was on sale, he says. Yeah, see? Red. Oh, George Harrison played a red one briefly, but it was given to him, and I don't think he loved it. Then he painted it with the Rocky. It was the Rocky guitar. Do I have a Paul Westerberg guitar? I want one. No, I don't have one, but I'd like one. It'd be badass. It's Dan, I don't know if you play guitar, but playing like Paul Westerberg is very hard. It's not easy to play those replacement songs. I think he made up all of it. Even the tunings, they're just made up. So they're very hard to play. If you know how to play and then play his garbage, you can't. Somebody wants Nick Shabazz on the show. Nick was actually on the show about a year ago. We should have him back. I missed
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
November 2020, I think. And
Tom knowing the date.
It was rough. It was fucking rough.
We were terrible back then. I can barely watch that show. I was so nervous to talk to him. that
I don't like. We have bad camera, we had lighting, we talking over each other. Yeah, Nick needs to. I was going to ask him to come back. I will ask him to come back again.
Let's
soon.
ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, he did his interview, just his hands. You didn't get to see his face, so don't get your hopes up.
By the way, he wore a Batman mask the whole video, just in case his face reflected off of a knife.
Sometimes the thing he does.
That's how committed he is to a bit.
You know what's funny is he so regrets picking that thing to base his whole identity off of. And it's uncomfortable. He gets hot and sweaty and breeze in his face, and
no one's stopping him from changing the mask. He could go to a Peter Griffin mask. He could.
If you want to see the person with the most followers on Instagram with only 6 posts in the knife industry, go look at Nick's account, because he's got like 60,000 followers. He's got 6 posts.
You have a very fine guitar there, my friend. That's an excellent guitar. No, I don't own an SG. If I could find a good SG without neck problems that actually played in tune, then I would buy it. But they're hard to find. They generally don't play in tune, and they generally have neck problems. Can I interview Greg Medford about his famous shirt? The only time you guys are going to see me with Greg Medford is like that. That'll be it. It just occurred to me he might watch this. Hey, Greg, I remember seeing you in line, and I don't appreciate you handing me that shitty shirt with all the snide, backhanded, like the fake, phony happiness that you did that day. It was the slimiest thing I've ever seen in person. Thanks for nothing. Your point was completely lost on the entire crew because you were a jerk about it. You didn't even make your point. So it's just sad.
Oh, can we? We've been missing a very important thing that we've done on FFIB besides Shabazz. We have interviewed Eric Lesser 2 times.
2 times.
He's my hero, literally my hero.
Yeah.
We got to interview 2 times in here, and we should probably ask him to come back again soon. It's almost that time.
We should.
Yeah, that's crazy. He doesn't make a lot of videos, it seems like.
You know what? Other than Blade Show and Shot Show, I don't think Eric's on camera ever.
I don't think so. I see Blade HQ and Knife Center videos of him doing the lineup of the year.
Drew Blevins, you got a GNL ASAT. That's a fine guitar. Well done. You think they want to see my table guitar, Tom?
What is the table? Oh, you mean the one made out of a table? Yeah, that one's a good one.
I'm not supposed to lift over 10 pounds. Luckily, this isn't 10 pounds. I made this guitar out of my grandma's dining room table. How about that, Drew Blevins? That's the bottom of the table. The bottom looks almost as cooler than the top.
It does look pretty dope. Yeah, like it.
I showed it to my dad, and he's like, I think I did my homework right here. But yeah, this was my grandma's dining room table, and it was made out of pine in the 40s, and they didn't need it anymore because they didn't have a dining room. So my uncle took a piece of it and made a bar out of it, and then I took a piece of it and made some guitars. So I made this in, 2010, somewhere in there. It took me, I don't know, probably 60 hours to cut the body. It took forever. I just kept checking over and over. It turned out perfect. And then I made a second one, and that one took 10 hours, and it didn't turn out perfect. Thanks, buddy. So anyway, Tom, I think I'm running out of gas. I need to go lay down. I can't sit here anymore. My back's starting to hurt, and I'm getting sweaty from the. It turns out you can feel pain without knowing that you're in pain, and all of a sudden you're like, "Why is my pulse up and I'm breathing hard and I'm sweaty and I'm dizzy?" It's because you're in pain, idiot. Go lay down. So thankfully, I'm done with the pain meds. Like I was having so many side effects from the pain meds, I gave up after.
Oh wow.
like 3 days on Vicodin. I was just like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm done with that. Thank God. Flexeril. Yeah, I don't like Flexeril anymore. No good.
Well, it's been 4 years, dude. It's been awesome 4 years. It's
been 4 years fast and slow.
It's not that I feel like the group is set, but I feel like we have established a very specific culture of our group, and it's going to keep on going. I have no intention of ever getting out of this hobby. I am getting in deeper and deeper and deeper all the time. So
yep.
This group will keep on surviving, and I always love seeing new people come. And I got to use the @everyone symbol today in my post, and all sorts of new people I think probably got to see the group or got reminded of it, which I think is cool.
I noticed you didn't suffer a lot of acrimony about the @everyone the way that I did. Although you used it for good instead of evil.
Yeah, for good.
Yep.
So, happy 4th birthday.
That's right.
We have the drawing for the giveaway. If you have not entered the giveaway yet, there is quite a few excellent prizes. The giveaway is pinned to the top of the group in the featured announcements posts. Last time I checked before the show, let's see what we got right now. We have, not to discourage anyone from.
I'm going to guess that 300 people have entered.
I mean, I don't know if that many. Let's see. Okay, this little giveaway. 2,144.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Crazy. Yeah.
2,000. That's like double our last record. So that's pretty nuts.
Man, that's over 5% of the group that's entered.
It's pretty solid, actually.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, we are choosing the winner on Saturday. We're going to have another episode of FFIB at 10 o'clock Eastern, and we will only dick around for a couple minutes at the beginning, and then we'll get to the drawing. So once people get there. So join us if you want to watch it live. It'll be a hell of a time. If you're not present, you can't win. No. We'll notify you, get tagged. You'll find out that you won. So that's Saturday, and it'll be a fun time. I got some really cool stats from that survey too. Like, let's see. iPhone versus Android. iPhone versus Android. Whoo, it's close.
We will be drawing a winner for each prize item. Isn't that true?
Correct.
We're not going to have one winner win everything.
No.
Okay, good.
Unless it's me, and then we might change the rules.
No.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a nice evening. Thank you for being a part of the group. We love you all. Happy 4-year anniversary to everybody. And we'll talk to you on Saturday.
Peace out.
Bye.